Yo, welcome back to another episode of Mad Track Talk. It's your boy Lucifer the God. You just heard Midnight Wanderer by Abyssopelagic?
Abyssopelagic.
Abyssopelagic. How's your day going?
My day's going pretty good.
It's been an interesting time in the world of things, but there's always good music flowing. And tapping into your music, there's definitely a really good, it's what's her name? Arena Barres? You know who that is? So she's very synthy, very nice, open vocals and like that. And you definitely give off that vibe of it's easy to chill and easy to just.
I think I have heard that. Yeah. Fantasy.
Elena, yeah.
Fantasy.
And she does a lot of work with Khalid.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of work together.
Dude, I like her music.
A lot.
It's good.
It's really good music. Do you draw from any influences with your music since you started? I mean,
yeah, a lot. Pretty much every element of my music is inspired by someone different. So the drums,
which hit hard. That's rad.
The biggest influence of my drumming would probably be Beck. His song Beautiful Way, specifically, that song really set the foundation for the way I kind of imagine drums in my head. And then just the synths of my song are kind of influenced by a lot by Beach House and what else? Kind of influenced by just kind of indie artists.
Yeah.
And then my vocals are a lot influenced by Marina. She used to be called Marina the Diamonds.
Okay.
And then the overall, I guess, confidence that I have in my music, or my confidence, if you understand what I mean, is influenced a lot by The Garden, because their music is super out there and they just kind of do whatever they want, and they don't really
do. I actually have one of their records on vinyl. I have the yellow one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the whole album covers yellow, and there's a clown on the front of it. I can't remember.
Mirror Can't Steal My Charm.
Yeah, something like that. And they're very punk, and they kind of do their thing. And I watched this little YouTube video on them. I don't know if you've seen it or not. They they actually live out here, and they do they just in their room doing random stuff.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know you liked The Garden.
Oh, dude, they're fire.
Literally my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to see them live. The energy would be insane.
Yeah. I was supposed to see them. I was supposed to see them live this year 3 times. But then freaking COVID.
The Rona. It steps into the arena and says no.
Yeah,
more.
Dude.
I can't believe all that has happened. I mean, how's it been for you since we shut down? I mean, with music and being just at home, and we've all kind of been doing just home stuff and hanging out.
It's crazy because at first I was really scared. I was like, what's happening? Nothing like this has ever happened in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, meeting Jake helped a lot, because he kind of alleviated the fear I had, and was like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
My dad too helped with that, because they're just very you can't focus on all that's going wrong. You kind of have to just live your life and just remember that you can't control everything.
Exactly. I like that.
Simple.
Yeah, definitely. Something to take into consideration, especially with everything going on. You can't control everything. Everyone wants to, because it's uncontrollable.
Yeah.
And it's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
This whole time. I mean, and I noticed on your page that the first album you released was Underwater Kingdom in 2020. So is that the first thing you've ever put out?
Yeah. Really? This is the first thing I've ever done. It's crazy because I didn't foresee releasing an album this year at all, until I went to go see this mini concert kind of thing. It was the lineup was Slater, Strawberry Army, Vita Kari, and I think it was Pink Sock or something.
I've heard of Strawberry Army. I don't know if I've heard of the other ones.
Yeah, Strawberry Army is really good. They're they went to my little sister's high school.
Mm-hmm.
But So
It's
at the
crazy.
show, I was talking to Vita Kari,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Just put something out. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be good. Just put it out. You know, like just get yourself out there." And I was like, "That's pretty much all it took for me
That's
to just put
awesome.
out something."
Yeah, our most previous episode was with a really close, guy we work with here at the studio. His name's That's Cool. And, there was, like, a little clip we posted, um, that he kinda tapped into that, and he was like, "Yo, if you're gonna do it, like, if you have an idea or you wanna do something, you just you have to do it." You have to
Yeah,
go for it and just put it out there.
exactly.
What I like about your album, Underwater Kingdom, the first one you ever put out, is that it's definitely very shows a versatility of interest for yourself that you're spreading across, like, I felt the garden in
Yeah,
some of your drums and
yeah,
stuff, and, like, how it's very,
yes,
like, very punk and, like, it hits, but there's a lot of, like it's just I like it a lot. It's crazy
thanks.
that you said the garden, I was like, "Okay, I thought about that earlier today."
Yeah, and then yeah, so those were my some of my earlier influences. And then like I'm working on a new EP slash album. I'm not sure what it's gonna be,
Mhm,
but a lot of this one is gonna probably be influenced a lot by the Spirit of the Beehive, which is like a shoegaze. They're a shoegaze band,
mhm,
and then the Cocteau Twins, which I just recently started getting into, and they're kind of I don't know if you've heard of them,
mm-mm.
but they're very like I guess you could say they're shoegaze as well. They kind of remind me of
What's
Beach
shoegaze,
House.
if you don't mind explaining?
Shoegaze, kind of like indie music, but the drums are very like distinct. They have a lot of tambourines in the drums. The voices are kind of like not so much the focus of the track. It's like
It's more
the
the instruments
yeah,
themselves.
the vocals kind of like blend in with all of
So
the
instead of, like, the
instruments.
vocals being, like, the lead, usually, like, how everyone mostly mixes, like, the vocals are just, like, right there in front and, like, everything else is backing it up. It's more
Yeah.
of the instruments, like, lead, backgrounds is the vocals to kinda mesh it all together, that's cool. I
Yeah.
don't think I've heard anything like that.
Yeah, it's, like, weird because in my head, I imagine shoegaze, the genre, as being, like, a line because it's so, like, just consistent and, like, smooth
Interesting.
opposed to, like, maybe The Garden, which is, like, boom, boom,
Boom, boom,
boom.
boom, and then kinda
Yeah,
slow down and then
yeah,
yeah, definitely. Definitely different I can see that, different vibe. Do you produce your own stuff?
yeah, the first album, I made all of it on GarageBand. Yeah.
GarageBand, the classic, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have GarageBand, you can do it,
Yeah,
alright? She did it,
you
you
can
can do
do
it
it.
too. You can do it. You just need to start.
Just need to start. It's all everything is just a matter of starting, literally everything in
Mhm.
life. Just so
What
yeah.
what made you like you were like, I mean, that situation you said, but, like, you're like, "Alright, GarageBand, I'm gonna tap in." Have you thought about, like, upgrading to a different software or anything?
Yes, I'm going to
Yeah. What are
very
you thinking
soon.
about grabbing?
Gonna get Logic.
It's a good one to start with, especially as an artist. Like, and
Yeah,
just really get into it.
yeah. And then I don't know what else I have in store. I wanna get a bass guitar, a real bass guitar. I wanna get,
Mhm.
um, just a bunch of instruments to use
Mhm.
eventually, but the bass guitar is very important
Mm.
in music making, like a real bass guitar is, like,
Mhm.
crucial
Yeah.
sometimes because it
Well,
just
even
has
if
a
you
sound.
and if you have Logic, the cool thing about that is that they have, like, amps on there, and you can plug in your interface, and you can just, like, play your bass into your interface, and then it'll play, like, through the amp that's emulates it, and you have, like, a totally different bass on every song. It's
Yeah.
super fun. That's, like, one of the ones we started with at Craft. We started with that school. We started doing that with
Mhm.
Logic, and then now I'm on Ableton, but that's just 'cause
Yeah. And then
it's changed.
plus, like, GarageBand is so limiting sometimes.
Yep.
Like, you sometimes I'll hear a song, like a synth in someone's song, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's GarageBand."
Yeah,
Like, I
because 'cause you're like,
recognize
"Oh,
that.
that's the stock right there." Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing was changed. Yeah, no, I feel you. There's actually I just, saw a little clip. It was, I was watching a master class, and it was like, "Yeah, oh, you hear on these songs that there's a lot of, like" everyone's like, "Yo, this song is popping." But then you're like, a lot of the people who are in the industry or do their own producing or,
Mhm.
make music are like, "Yo, I've heard that before."
Yeah.
In the song, that's weird. But, with all your tracks, since they are so versatile, like, what was your how making this track, like, what was the process behind it?
Midnight Wanderer?
Just the whole album,
The
because it's
whole
kinda you
album.
kinda flow through
Oh,
punk, you kinda go into very synthy, very
yeah.
open, and then you kinda get hard on one of the tracks and you kinda go in.
Yes. Okay, that was like a lot of that was influenced by Beck again because um me and my dad would have conversations. Well, my dad's the one who showed me Beck.
Mhm.
And so we'd have conversations about Beck's different albums and specifically Beck's one album. It's the Green album. I forgot what it's called, but it has Beautiful Way on it, the one I mentioned. That Green album by Beck, um, every single song is so different from each other. And I kind of like
Oh, I know what it
realized as
is.
I was talking to my dad, we were both kind of talking like Beck just doesn't give a crap about like if his music is the same genre, he just makes whatever he wants and it sounds good and it still has like that Beck character to
Has his
it,
vibe to it.
has his vibe.
Yeah.
And it's just like that inspired me a lot. So like when I was making my music, I was just like really trying not to confine myself to anything.
Mhm.
I just didn't
You didn't wanna stay on one line.
yeah, I didn't want to copy anybody. I just wanted to have almost maybe like even a shock value sometimes in my music.
Mhm. But yeah, I mean, that the freeing thing about that excuse me, voice cracking. Um, the freeing thing about that as an artist is too is that, like, there's no holding back.
Puberty round 2.
Hey, it happens. It's the best. Stop. I'm going to meetings, okay? Midnight Vultures?
Yes, Midnight Vultures by
Midnight
Beck.
Vultures by Beck. I was looking for green because I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't see a green, but Midnight, yes, you're right.
Mhm. Beck is so talented. Like,
He's got long
there's
albums too, that's cool. There's a
yeah.
lot of people who don't have very big albums that have, like, you have, like, "Oh, yeah, there's 14 songs on this album for me to listen to."
Mhm.
He's got a lot of music on one. That's cool. I'll have to tap into it. He looks familiar, though. I feel like I've heard him before.
Yeah, he sings Loser. I'm a loser, baby.
Oh.
So why don't you kill me?
Yeah, okay. Got you. I've definitely heard that for sure. That's a very popular it's got 207 million streams on
Yeah.
Spotify alone.
Something I was reading like a story about that song or something, and it was weird because I think what happened was Beck was about to lose like a contract with somebody, like a record deal, something like that. I don't know. And then
Interesting.
he went and performed that song at like the very last minute, and then like everybody liked it, and he kind of just like went up from there.
So,
But
and
he
didn't he
was
go, like, independent that way? 'Cause of
I
that happening? I'm curious.
yeah, I have no
'Cause that's
idea.
been the wave recently is, like, artists are starting to realize and understand the fact that, like, "Yo, I don't need you anymore as a label." Like,
Yeah.
I don't what's the point? I have the internet and a computer, and, like, as long as I'm good to people and I have, like, people in my circle and in my corner,
Yeah.
like, I can do this. And it's
Yeah.
great. Like,
It's
especially
great.
what Kanye West is saying, like, "Oh, I want my masters." Like, I love that. I can't believe he's, like, going in
Yeah.
Are you okay,
I
sir?
don't know.
Voice crack. I'm surprised my voice hasn't cracked yet.
I don't know. I think it might be because I smoked earlier. And, when I smoke I went back to tree now. I was doing dabs before. I went back to
Mm,
tree.
mm.
So now I think my throat's getting a little used to it again. Because before I was like, "Oh, a little crack in there, here and there. It's alright." You know? Show my
Yeah.
feminine side, you know? I gotta sometimes you gotta go a little high, a little low.
On that note, I wanna bring up Marina, who I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Yo, Marina and the Diamonds,
Marina and the
fire.
Diamonds.
And the diamonds.
Yeah. Literally, like, she's been making music since, like, 2009, I wanna say, and I got into her in 2010. I was 10.
Dang.
And so I heard her song on the radio or something. It was, like, Hollywood, and,
I've probably heard her. I'm so bad with names.
um
So everyone says names, I'm like,
I'm gonna show
Okay.
you guys a really dope remix of one of her songs after this.
what's
Dude,
her
yeah.
name is Marina? Marina.
Marina.
You've definitely heard her music.
Marina and the Diamonds.
She has one song, it's called Lies.
Yeah.
That's like probably her
Bubblegum
most
Bitch?
well-known song.
Bubblegum. Bubblegum
It's got
bitch.
77 million streams. I'm curious. Am I allowed to play 30 seconds or like 10 seconds of it real fast?
I mean, we don't have any sponsors. So.
Yeah. Hey, sponsor us so we can be like, oh no, we shouldn't do this. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, Marina.
Ooh. Reminds me of what's her name? We were listening to Bananas, that song. What's it called? It's not called Bananas, but Bananas.
Gwen Stefani?
Gwen Stefani reminds me kind of like that song. That song.
Okay, I guess.
That song. That's it.
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
It's
Hell
like
yeah.
a trap beat.
Her Gwen Stefani's?
Yeah.
What?
Or like a hard hip hop beat.
It's a hard pop beat for sure. It's very poppy, but it has that synth value too. That's why it's more poppy. That's the only reason it has the synth.
If I could recommend one song by Marina, it would be Gold from her Fruit album. That's my favorite, like one of my favorite songs ever. But the reason I brought her up is because we're talking about high-low kind of thing. And her voice is incredible. It can go so low and so high. And like, if you listen to her first album, The Family Jewels, that's like the best album in my opinion.
Yo, Family Jewels. I love it. I like the names she has on their albums.
Yeah, her voice is so, it's so iconic. It's like you can't, like, I've never heard a voice like that.
She has a very like, she has her own look too.
Yeah,
she's
Greek.
Really?
Yeah.
She's gonna look gorgeous forever.
You know the Greeks.
Dude, that skin, that olive skin. Forever. That's why there's so many chiseled Greeks out there.
She's also Libra.
Interesting.
It's probably a factor.
Have you seen the thing on Snapchat?
Yeah, the astrological thing.
Yeah, I was very interested in that. Me and Mike were going in on that the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, we're the same. Oh my God.
Not exactly.
No, not exactly. But there's a lot of ones where we're like, wow, this is really weird.
What was your moon sign?
I think my moon sign is Aries.
Ooh.
Or that was his.
Huh?
I think his
Mine's Aquarius, I think.
Or we're getting them backwards.
Mhm.
I don't remember. But I was interested to see that. I thought that was really cool. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I can just like see.
Taurus.
You're a Taurus. I think I'm
a Taurus.
I'm either Aquarius or the Aries as my moon sign. I can't remember.
I would guess that you're
December 28th.
an Aries moon
Probably.
between the two.
Yeah. Well,
who knows?
it's possible.
It's possible. Anything's possible, literally.
Anyway, back to the music, maybe. So have you planned on making, when's this next album you think about dropping?
Well, I'm in this weird position where like I haven't been making music because I'm trying to finish my last class. And so,
Which isn't very important.
Which is very important sometimes.
Sometimes
depending on
it doesn't feel as important as we want it to.
And so right now, like, I can foresee in the future me making like a lot more songs, but I could also foresee me just making like one more song and then releasing it. So I'm not sure at this point, but I have like 2 songs right now that are almost done.
Nice.
So
how's the process been with you kind of being a newer artist? Can we get a clip of all of these and we can like post it, like voice cracks 1 2 3?
There's gonna be some edits to do for sure.
That's fine. So like how has it been for you, the process as far as like making beats and doing that? Beats. Yeah, like as being like a newer producer coming into it.
So like my first song on my album, Underwater Kingdom, Now We Transcend, if you listen to the drums, they're just like 2 little synth drums. And the song is fine, but that's my first song that I ever made. And so like the drums are just like very simple, and I was kind of like figuring out what's going on in GarageBand. And then once I kind of got to like, I want to say after Sore Brain, so maybe like halfway through the album, the drums start getting more complex because ever since like I put out my first song on SoundCloud, my ears suddenly got, like, really receptive to all the drums I've ever heard after that, like,
Mhm.
literally just anything I heard, and so I feel
Definitely can
like
relate. Yeah.
yeah, and that's I feel like with everyone, you just kinda, like, get more receptive to
Mhm.
what
You
everyone else
notice
is
things.
making.
Yeah, you notice things that you never noticed before when you start,
Yeah,
like, tapping into how music is made.
yeah,
So
and it's just like you find what you like, and you just make it into your own thing,
mhm.
and it's a beautiful process.
Yeah, it's definitely but it takes patience. Like,
Yeah,
you have to be patient with yourself more than anything. It's like, "Oh god, I'm trying to figure out this, and I want it to sound like this," or,
yeah,
you kinda have to as you're figuring it out, you're like, "Oh, cool, I can do that," and then gotta remember that one, you know?
yeah, and then it's just like there's so many ideas that just need to be born.
Yeah. How
Like
do you feel like I mean, throughout your whole album, you talk about a lot of different things, how you like it seems like you really put all your emotion into every single different song.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes yeah, some of my earlier songs that I made were, like, really personal, and then I'll be seeing them and be like, "Oh,
The
no."
feels, they come in hot.
Or, like, when I sang for the first time in front of everyone, like, at my backyard show thing, I was like, "What am I saying?" I'm, like, just pouring my heart out right now.
Oh, yeah. I
But,
didn't know
yeah.
you've done, like, a little show.
Yeah, I did, like, a tiny show. It was just friends and family. It was
Nice.
in my dad's backyard.
Dude, people do like, that used to be, like, the thing of, like, everyone would be having a house party way back in the day, and you'd be having either your band or whatever, and you do
Mhm.
a little, like,
Yeah.
backyard
That's
fucking guitar,
really
like, thing.
yeah, I really wanna do that, once coronavirus is over or whatever.
I think that would be, like, bringing that back. It seems like that is, like, the poppin' thing right now is that, like, all the stuff that we want like, we haven't been doing, and since we haven't been able to get it, we
Mhm.
wanna, like, "Dude, we should do that."
Yeah.
Like, it was fun. Like, why are we not doing that?
Yeah. Like, that's just, like, the most jacked up thing about all of this is just the concerts. Like, no concerts.
And a
That's
lot of
just so sad.
yeah, and it's a big social thing for a lot of people. I know this is, like, a hard time because people are, like, kinda feel isolated in a lot of different ways. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I can't imagine, like, how it must feel for some people, like, not being able to, like they need that social contact and, like, needing to talk to people, but they've been stuck in their house or they can't see their
Yeah,
parents or, whatever. So it's definitely been the craziest time I've ever
it
seen in my entire
is.
life so far.
Yeah. And, like, comparing it to the first couple weeks of it, now I feel normal, but, like, the first couple weeks, it was just, like, I was going stir crazy at first. Like, I've never had to deal with that before.
Yeah.
I'm always able to usually just see my friends or
Yeah, do
whatever.
your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has it, there's been a lot of, like, um, downtime during this, and a lot of people have been able to, like, reflect and see what's going on in the world.
Mhm.
What's your perspective on, like, how everything's going on and how people are reacting to the election or
Mhm.
how it all just kinda panned out? Because 'Cause we're after November 3rd where when I thought everything was gonna stop. I thought we were gonna, like, "All right, well, whoever wins, wins." Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't like, that's it. So and here we are still talking about it. So,
Yeah.
what's your
It's
perspective on, like, how it's been going, media and everything?
um, well, it's I feel like I understand why people are scared,
Yeah.
and I understand why people, like, feel the need to choose a side, but, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if we all kind of just, like, distance ourselves a lot more from what's going on because so much of it is out of our control. Almost all of it is out of our control. So, I just feel like people should kind of, like, think before they put their energy into making, like, a post or making a comment or just getting into an argument with somebody
Mhm.
because what really matters is, like, your own reality and what's happening in your little simulation that you have
Mhm.
here,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I think the best way to that for me coping with everything has just been to nature helps so much. Just go in nature, go on a walk, talk to your family, talk to your friends, and just don't bring up politics sometimes.
That's been a very big thing for us at our house. It's like, all right, shh, stop. We need to stop.
Just play some Minecraft.
Yeah, dude. I do want to say to the people who have been watching this podcast, if you want to get on the Minecraft grind, I suggest it very much. It's very therapeutic. It's very nice to build. It's like Legos. It's fantastic.
Legos for adults.
Legos for adults. You don't even need like a crazy computer. It's very simple. It's squares. It's crazy. Actually, cubes. I apologize.
This guy. Leaving out a whole dimension, bro.
I know. I can't do that. That's just wrong.
You guys just got into it, right? Like
I've played it before and I've been into it before, but like as far as where I am in my life and how busy we are and stuff, it's like perfect. It's like I can put it down and not come back to it for like a day or so, and then I can be like, "Yo, you guys want to play?" And we can all just go right back into exactly where we were. Nothing's changed. Just play and have a good time together. It's not like I have to like worry about like, oh shit, boom, 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 boom. It's really fast paced. It's just do your thing.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I've actually never beat that game. I always just kind of like, whenever I'm on...
Me either. I've never done either.
I'm always on survival mode, and then I'll like fall into lava and lose all my stuff more than once. And the second time I'm just like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not coming on here for like a year or whatever.
Yeah, you get like it almost like demotivates you because you keep getting to these certain like milestones, like your levels go up, and then all of a sudden it's like, sorry, man, it's gone.
You just one slip of a rock.
And it's all over. Real life. That's some real life shit, people. One slip. It's all over.
You're like, think in terms of Minecraft.
Yeah.
You have so many life lessons to learn just through Minecraft.
It's all about cubes, people. It's all about cubes.
We're living on a cube Earth.
Yeah. It's not flat Earth. It's cube Earth.
It's cube Earth. It's donut Earth.
Dude, and we're in the hole.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that some people think that we live in a donut Earth?
Excuse me?
So there's a hole in the middle. That's what they're trying to tell me.
All I'm asking.
Where's the hole?
Okay, so let me ask this. So is the moon like the basketball? Like are we like you could even then I got hoop theory. The earth is just a basketball hoop and the moon is the basketball, and that's what goes in. It goes like this and it's inside, and that's how we get like it looks like the moon's going around. I get it. Makes sense, right? Right, Jake?
I do want to bring up that there's this like little meme thing I saw, and it's about it was comparing like all of these ancient civilizations' drawings of what they thought the earth looked like, and it was like Aztec, Mayan, Egyptian, the Freemasons even were on there, and they all drew the earth as a dome. And I feel like that has...
All we're saying is me and CJ Silly. You'll see it on our other podcast, people. Little plug. We're coming up with a new podcast. It's called Devil's Advocate, CJ Silly and Lucifer the God. Tap into it. We're going to have some friends on there. All that. Anyway, back to it. Yes. We are in a dome.
I feel like what they were trying to say was that we're in a simulation, but not as literal as that may sound. Or maybe we are, you never know. But I feel like what they were trying to say was just we have a creator, or maybe someone's watching us, or there's just something.
There's a Rick.
There's a capsule.
We're just inside of a fucking car.
We're just in a car battery.
Yeah.
That's all we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just a universe inside a car battery.
And just...
Okay, so this is something that's interesting. There's also this in philosophy. There's a big thing about how in changes of civilizations and religions and beliefs and philosophies, how they come up and change, is that because we have such a connection with technology now that this simulation theory is all of a sudden very popular.
Mhm.
Because if we think about it, like that's our closest connection we have is technology. So I mean, we all kind of connect to like, oh, okay, like logically, and what's
Yeah.
going on in the world and how everything's fucked, and like
We're
it doesn't
all
seem like
yeah.
what the hell is going on,
And
you
we're all
know?
so much more connected right now, which is like everyone else and also just like whatever is going on up here, you know, like the frequencies.
The Sims, guys, come on. It's real.
The Sims, it's
Sims.
real.
You literally control their lives.
So okay, if you were gonna, sorry, there's a mosquito, and I don't want to get bit by this mosquito.
I'll kill it if it comes over here.
Yeah.
I'll clap his cheeks.
Sims, it's very possible that we're being controlled. That would be really weird because I would really question the morals and values of the person who's controlling me. I'd be like, yo, like if you can control this shit, like you don't got cheat codes or like you got a little mod or something we can put in here to make this go a little quicker.
There is a very, very likely possibility that we're in an alternate universe. Like quantum physicists have said that. I might have told you this already, but
probably, and I don't remember. Tell me again.
We are almost certainly living in a parallel universe where because of like I forgot what it was, something in quantum physics, they realized something that you move something in point A and it affects point B, and so by observing that, they were able to figure out that like
there's almost like a middle.
Yeah, if you do something to point A, point B is somewhere and it has to be reacting in some way. Yeah. So therefore, there's another you out there.
Yeah.
Maybe doing the same thing, maybe doing something different.
Yeah.
How do we even get here?
We went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All the theories that have come up with nowadays, and since we have the internet, I mean, and I guess that's another topic I want to bring with you is like media and how the shift of it has shifted us so much. And especially with like it being an election year. I'm someone who's very like, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm very like, okay, like that's why we're doing this Devil's Advocate podcast. Cause I feel so on this like fence of like, yo, I get it. But like, come on, like we're trying to do the same. And why are we having like these random arguments about certain things and like, no, you. And it's just it's been very interesting to see the media kind of just drive that home now. So have you seen the shift and like what do you think about the shift of like how it's been?
The media to me has always been exactly what you just said. Like its kind of main goal is to kind of just get everybody to be against each other. And we're clearly not going to be able to move forward as a society or even on a smaller scale, like as a family, if we can never make compromises or agree or maybe just even like let go of our ego. But they want us to hold on to that ego and they want to like make everything super polarized so that we can never move forward.
Have you felt that before? Like I felt this feeling of like, why am I getting frustrated right now? This doesn't like, I don't care. Like, but like in the way they're saying it or describing it, it's getting me like kind of worked up. I'm like, like, why is this happening to me? You know, like, have you, like, I've genuinely been like, oh, you know, like what they're saying is either frustrating me and I know in my heart and soul of like what I believe. And it's like, yo, this is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
How much it's shifting how I feel right now.
Yeah.
And like what I'm seeing.
For me, I just hear the news and I just get really pissed at like the news company because I see what they're doing. They're just reporting like everything that's wrong. Like I remember with the fires in Australia, like the whole time.
That was crazy.
Right.
And it went on forever and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about because we never heard when it stopped. Nobody, the news was never like, oh, the fires are over.
Yeah, and everyone's doing
They're
okay.
just-
There's relief or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, oh, there's a fire. Everybody's dying. Everybody's sad. And this is really crazy. And you guys should donate, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, and then all of a sudden it just dies out.
And then the next thing.
And they're like, oh, it's COVID now.
Yeah. Or whatever it is. Whatever hits the Twitter top charts, I feel like is like that's how they get their news. It's just like, oh yeah, well there it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that, I think, Jake. Didn't we? On your episode? It's possible. But we'll talk about it on our pod, our new one. Yeah, it's been scary personally. Like I like seeing people. What bothers me the most is the aggression against each other. Because like for me, it's like in my head, it's like we're all humans and we're all in this together. Like there's no other planet right now, like that we can go to and survive on. That we know of, or that we can even all get there and safely and travel. Nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like we're here. We have to deal with our shit together. And like, there's no point in being an aggressor or being, taking the aggression. And it's like, yo, like we're all trying to fight for the same thing. We're all trying to live happy, and you got to see that you're getting pushed this way or that way.
And I feel for the families, where like there's people that are just in tough positions, and whether it has to do with like work or their health or just whatever. Like I personally feel like at my age, I don't have many things holding me back or like things holding me down. And so like with people that have like major responsibilities, like children, like making money for people, for their family, I just feel like it really sucks because you got to be understanding towards those people.
Yeah.
At this, especially like right now, and like sometimes people make mistakes, but like we're not all the same.
Yeah. It's understand. A lot of the pods I've done, I've talked about understanding and having understanding for one another, and that's lacking in the society that we have nowadays. Have you, in your music, do you feel like you put a voice into like what's going on right now, or like how you feel about it, like into that?
Yeah. Sometimes there's songs like A Placemat Where Your Senses Live on my album, and maybe Bone Clip Art Fanatic. Those two songs.
I love all the names on your album.
Those two songs are about people. And for example, A Placemat Where Your Senses Live is about how we're all kind of, in a metaphorical sense, pawns in a game of chess for the shadow people or whoever you want to, whatever you want to say. And so it's basically just like a commentary on how they want us to live. Like, you can choose to be a pawn in a game of chess, or you can choose to live in sweet honey. That's a lyric. And so it's really, everything is kind of up to you, up to like whatever perspective or mindset you want to have. And I guess for Bone Clip Art Fanatic, that one's more of like an aggressive, kind of like spiteful song, if you will. It's about how people are like, they like to stay in their shells of comfort, and they don't. I'm trying to think of the lyrics.
You can play it.
Bone Clip Art Fanatic.
We can play it.
This is a bloodbath. You are inside it.
Is that the lyric?
That's one of the lyrics. One of the lyrics is, you stay in your shell without hesitation. Heaven has heard all of your proclamations. Rest in peace to my bones. They've turned into clones. You think this is your home. You stay dry to the bone.
Damn. bars.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Hell yeah. I like that. I like that bar a lot. That points straight into what you just said. That's like people are staying in their lane. They're not willing to either get out of it and see what else is going on, or open their mind.
I just remember the lyric. There's like this lyric where it's like, they see a UFO and they hide in a tree, and like they see something scary and they hide.
Explain that.
Like with COVID.
Okay.
Like a lot of people are really afraid of it to the point where it's like making them sad. And it's really crazy because they don't have to do that. Like all of a sudden we're just forgetting how to be brave. And we're just forgetting that we used to just kind of live. I feel like before coronavirus, it was more prevalent to see people who were just living without fear. And all of a sudden, it's just like kind of a trend to be compliant and inside your house.
Mm-hmm.
And if you disagree with that, then you get shamed by like everyone.
Yeah.
The media, everyone.
Yeah. That's something that we touched on as like a cancel culture I've touched on before, is how like if you do or you're not following the guidelines in place that everyone has just somehow agreed on, that you are like automatically a bad person.
Yeah. And they just make everything political. Like masks are political now.
Yeah.
I thought they were just a piece of cloth that you put on your face, but now it's like something else.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I totally like what you said earlier. It's like I understand why we wear them, and I wear mine because I understand. It's like, okay, cool. Like I'll wear it because I don't want to be basically an aggressor on anyone else's piece of life. I guess, like I want to be a citizen in, where I am and, be cordial. I'm a human. We're all humans, so like if someone doesn't or forgets, I feel like we should be human.
Yeah.
Or if they do have an opinion, it's like, hey man, like I totally understand you have opinion. I just want you to know that like how we communicate things.
Yes.
Like instead of being aggressive about it, maybe saying, hey, you're making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because that shocks someone. If I said to you, you're making me uncomfortable, you'd be like, what? Like, what's going on? You'd be like, what's up? What am I doing? Do I need to leave? Exactly. Like that kind of thing. So if you say, hey, you're making me uncomfortable right now, and this is why, and communicate that. But then it's both sides. How does that other person take it?
Yeah.
And we're stuck in this. Even with music, it's like if you say the wrong thing, you can't be freely expressive, because then you can get like it happened to J. Cole. He almost got canceled because of a lyric he had in one of his on his EP about he was saying like, oh, I'm sorry, or he said something about a girl like, oh, you're talking to me bad, and then he was like, I was just expressing like how I felt about the situation.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah, it was right in the beginning of Rona. How all this started.
Is that the No Name track?
The No Name track.
And the thing.
CJ Silly on the mic. A little
Mike went to the
experience.
bathroom and it kind of worked because I know that song.
Yeah. No, that he almost got canceled for that song because he was talking about a situation and expressing how he felt in music about a situation with a girl he like had talked to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was it about so this girl was trying to kind of like virtue signal everybody and kind of like be like, oh, you guys have to do this.
It was the girl. I'm pretty sure she says her name's No Name.
Yeah.
On Twitter, and like right when the George, what's his face, the I Can't Breathe, George Floyd.
Yeah.
Whatever.
With George Floyd. Yeah.
She started becoming like what J. Cole thought of her as like an activist, and J. Cole like basically what he was saying in the song. He's like, yo, like, you can take my word from it, but like there's this girl here who's like knows more shit. Don't listen to me. Like I'm just a rapper. Like she has more to say. And then like she was all like, yeah, but like who am I?
Interesting.
So it was like weird. I don't know exactly. I could be kind of wrong, but it was weird. I don't even think it was that much of a beef though.
It was so quick. It was like he almost got canceled. Everyone was like, "Oh, I can't believe."
But she was just like really supporting Black Lives Matter or whatever, and talking a lot about that. And like Lindsay was saying,
was she
that word was
virtue signaling?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's like what we're talking about here, but
what is virtue signaling?
Virtue signaling. What I'm talking about, was it what the girl was doing?
Well, what are you talking about?
We're talking about the song. What's virtue signaling?
Virtue signaling. So I just learned this word too. It's kind of like telling your little like following, or like people your age, people that think, or people that are
like-minded.
just like-minded, what they should do, what you think is right, and like what you think is going to benefit your own political or just like worldviews. So if someone, for example, is saying, if you're not doing blank, then you should be ashamed of yourself because blah blah blah.
Dang.
And
that's pretty
I feel
heavy.
like that's very like backwards, and like it's like taking reverse progress. What would be the word? Deprogressing.
Regression.
Regression.
Regression, yes.
Yeah.
So regressing our progress, like in moving away from being so controlled by the media and the government. Like if, like what we were saying earlier, like it's like almost a different kind of battle. It's like there's a battle between left and right, and then there's a battle within left and right. And it's like they're all telling each other what to do, but they're not like
expressing like what they actually
telling
feel.
the government what to do, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like they're not saying, oh, the government should be doing this. They're saying my followers should be doing this.
Gotcha.
And I feel like that's not
backwards.
Right.
Yeah, that you're telling like, hey, you guys follow me, so you guys should do this.
Yeah,
that's not right. Because I see what you're saying, especially even like in like rappers or people who like are super famous. Like, oh well, they endorse this guy, you know, and it's like for me, it's none of my business. Like, if that person does that, that's their business. Like, it's not like I'm like going over and like Mike's doing something or you're doing something, and I'm like, hey,
what were we watching the other day where they were like, oh, it was Argon Radio.
Shout out Argon Radio.
Marshall was like, you shouldn't ever like tell people who you voted for. Like, it shouldn't be the way like it is, where it's like this sporting event where like, oh, this is my side right here. Like, this is my guy.
Definitely. It should
just be like, all right, this is like the policies that both these people have. Like, this is my opinion on it. I'm going to vote on it. And I don't even need to discuss it with anybody else. There shouldn't be this whole like
warfare almost.
Yeah, it's like
it's battle royale warfare, war zone. Catch us, Lucifer the God. It's Derbs online. Let's
fucking go. But it's ridiculous.
It is. It's just, I don't doubt it. One bit, Derbs. I mean, we're living it right now. Every day. I used to work with this guy Mark, and I used to do ride-alongs with him. I work for a security company, and we used to have these conversations about like tribalism and how we are very tribalistic in nature, just as humans, and we're animals. We just like wolves or any other species. Usually, if you're in a pack or in an area where you're in a close proximity to the same species, you're safer. Or, you know, there's a commonality in how you live in the ecosystem and stuff like that. I just lost where I was going with this because I'm a little stony.
That made me think of something that just happened, though, because my nieces came over the other day, and one of them's 3, one of them's 1. And it was crazy because I always hear that thing about tribalism, like where children supposedly ideally should be raised in a tribe. And so like my house had so many people in it for like 3 days because
Are you Latina?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other anything else in your bloodline?
I want to say
Switzerland.
Swiss.
Dude.
Swiss.
I'm a Swiss.
I'm a Swiss. Yeah, but I'm vegan.
Hey, it's
Oh.
okay. They make vegan cheese.
Yeah.
My dad gets it all the time. It's actually pretty good. Have you had it? Cheese. I've had vegan
Yes.
cheese.
It's so much better than regular cheese.
And we even had a with like you said tribalism and it brought all the thoughts back. We would have conversations about like how we decide or choose to go with this faction or this thing, like with being Republican or Democrat. Like it's just we try to put ourselves in a pocket, and we have to be in that pocket because if we get out of that pocket, it confuses people. And we our brains want shit to be simple.
And you know what's crazy? It's like it literally blows my mind how much brainwashing happens in school because literally throughout my entire high school career, all my teachers, like all of the political activities we would do in high school were about Republicans and Democrats, and that's it. They didn't
let you know about the independent party
they didn't
or anything else.
It would always be like, are you Republican or a Democrat survey? Or like, this is what they were back in blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, which one are you? But they're never like, you know, you don't have to be one.
Or you don't have to choose.
You don't have to choose one. You can just like not be into this.
Yeah.
But now, you know, it's like what everyone's thinking about all the time.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely.
crazy. Even me, I'm always thinking about it because the collective consciousness is, especially now with the election, is like everybody's energy is towards politics right now.
I feel like everybody's energy is very heightened.
Yes.
Because we're like a ball of energy right now because we've been stuck inside and everyone's on like high alert and just ready to fire.
There's this
just like weary of everything.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, fight or flight. What do I need to do to protect myself and my family and move through this?
Yeah,
like, it's
totally.
It's this year has definitely switched a lot of things.
Yeah.
Socially.
There's this little like graph thing. It's a collective consciousness little, like, it looks like a stock market kind of like little line graph. It moves. And so I forget what it's called exactly, but it supposedly measures everybody in the world like collective consciousness through a random number generator. And the more, I believe, like the more close the numbers get together, the more aligned we all are as a collective conscious. And so on the graph, when the numbers are together, it'll show up as like a plateau red line. When we're all on the same wavelength, supposedly. So then they were looking at it when the election was happening, and like all of a sudden it just went flat. Like before, like the past couple months, it's been up, down, up, down, up, down. And then all of a sudden, like the election, everybody was just like, boom, like the same energy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the world is on the same wavelength right now. Everyone's cooped up, frustrated, angry.
Yeah.
But you've done a great job in getting what you can express, and the outlet you used was music.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I hope so. I hope I can get some messages through.
And I mean, for someone who you're just coming up as an artist, and with everything going on, the shift in how you don't have like you said, you did a backyard show, but now you really can't. So now it's switching to more online stuff. You've done a couple music videos that you've produced yourself. Like how was that experience? Because they're very artistic. They go with your music very well. I watched them all.
Well, so the first couple music videos, they were made kind of like on a whim. And I used the app Video Star. It's an app on my phone.
Interesting.
And that helped out a lot because it was basically just you record, and then it like automatically syncs up to the song.
Okay.
So it was really easy for that.
Nice.
But then for Midnight Wanderer, I got Adobe Premiere Elements. Adobe.
Yes. Adobe.
And so I was figuring out how to make these I wanted to make them kind of like psychedelic-esque music videos and just very visual, because for me, like when I'm watching other people's music videos, the ones that are my favorite are the ones that have nature in them and a lot of like visual graphic like
Things happening, changing.
what would be the word like ambient visuals.
Yeah.
And so
Like distorting stuff or like making things change a little bit in the picture on like a certain beat or something.
Yeah, I like to like overlay some kind of nature image or like a pretty thing in the background.
Yeah.
That's like kind of my process. And right now I'm working on Random Mandelbrot music video.
Nice.
So
nice.
that one's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna have
a lot of footage. It's a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. And the background's gonna be all like nature aesthetic vibes kind of thing.
Whereabouts did you I don't remember where you stay at city wise.
Oh, so my mom lives in Yorba Linda and then my dad lives in Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, is it kind of split kind of?
Yeah, they're really far. So like I believe I want to say they're like 30 something miles apart. And like I grew up in La Mirada, like a town that's like literally in the middle, like smack in the middle of between Long Beach and Yorba Linda. And so yeah, and Yorba Linda and Long Beach, I really grown to love those cities. Yorba Linda, as much as some people can be very ignorant in Yorba Linda, stereotypically, like.
Sorry, this guy came in hot.
The Mike Pence fly.
Oh, dude.
The Mike Pence fly.
Yeah, I should just let it like land on my forehead.
Just edit a fly on the forehead. But Yorba Linda, it's beautiful.
I kind of feel that respect thing because I didn't really respect the place where I lived or like grew up. Even California. I moved to Arizona for a while. And then when I moved there, I found definitely a different respect for California because it's not as hot, number one.
Yeah.
But like just like the spread of culture here and like the different art that's in California and stuff. It seems like all of us Californians, we have a lot of that like in us that like, oh yeah, we love the nature. We stay with it. We love the hikes and all that. And with your music, it vibes so well with that.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it's easy to just play. Like, have you ever done like a speaker on a hike playing like music or ambient music or something like that?
Yeah,
it's perfect for that
fun.
right there.
We did that with The Garden one time.
Ooh. Hey, Jake, have you listened to The Garden? No. I'm really, you know what's funny? I'm glad. Good. Because this guy's like, yeah, mainly just hip hop, man. And I'm like, dude, you got to tap into some different music. That's good.
He's like, sometimes I'll play a song and he'll be like, I actually like this song. Enjoy. Oh, Enjoy and Puzzle. I love Enjoy and Puzzle. It's The Garden. You probably know this.
I've probably heard it. Yeah.
Enjoy and Puzzle. It's Wyatt and Fletcher.
Oh,
like their own little like separate artists names. And we like Enjoy. Nice. We like listen to Enjoy. Like small car, big wheels. Pew pew.
Dude, they did this really cool thing on one of their records when I was watching that documentary. The guy just put a box around him and he had a microphone inside of a box. He was just singing into it like really loud. And it was like distorted.
They're Scorpios.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they have that energy.
They got that Scorpio energy.
Yeah, they're just like, we're doing it right now.
I try to find out everyone's zodiac sign if I can.
I'm Capricorn, Cap.
Cap.
Mike's Cap. What are you, Jake?
No Cap.
No Cap. What are you? CJ Silly. What is CJ Silly? Sign.
Sagittarius.
Dude, he's got that energy. Just do it. He definitely does have that energy.
Do you know another Sagittarius?
My father. He's a lot like you. He's just like, no, we're doing it right now.
That's crazy.
His like signs and stuff, like I can see that. Who he is, I don't know so much. He's an alcoholic, so or was an alcoholic, whatever that means. What does it mean when you stop drinking and are you still an alcoholic? How do you
I mean,
Recovered?
recovered alcoholic? That's how you say it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how you say it. That's my bad.
These Sagittarius.
But no, my dad's very like, no, we're doing it right now. Let's go do it. Let's go. I'm like, all right, I guess we're going.
Very impulsive.
Yeah. Like we're going.
Yeah.
I think everything through very detailed.
Oh yeah, that's a Capricorn.
I like, okay, like
love to plan.
I like, well, what could fail? What could go right? And then like, we're good. Overthink everything.
Capricorn energy.
Yep.
And I don't know if you knew this, but the signs have sister signs, or AKA polarities.
Yeah.
So like, do you know about that?
I kind of know about it. I know one of my I vibe well with water signs.
Yeah. Okay. This is the thing. Like, it's yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
A coin has two sides. Capricorn and Cancer, yin and yang.
Interesting.
Sagittarius and Gemini, yin and yang. Same but opposite. Each sign has a sister sign.
Interesting. My wife is February 6th. We're opposites.
I believe. What is February?
According to astrology.
February 6th is Aquarius?
Is it? I think it's right before Aquarius. What's after Capricorn?
Aquarius.
Is it Aquarius?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I thought it was something else.
Dude, I just know what Snapchat told me, bro.
Snapchat just told me, man. And I know now. The information is flowing. Now you got to tap into all the different things, like who, like she said, like your best matches, like who compliments you.
Yeah, through Snapchat.
Yeah, through Snapchat.
And also get your news through Snapchat.
Oh yeah, only Snapchat.
I only get my news from Snapchat.
Yeah. That's it. That's the key, guys. Snapchat news.
That's the key to detaching yourself from reality. Just
Snapchat.
stay on Snapchat.
And you're good.
Delete your news app.
That's
you don't
the
need
best
it
way to go
anymore.
about it. Easy. So, making new tracks, you've been producing, you've released this year, music videos. We have an album coming out next. You've also featured on CJ Silly's album, Boom Bap Baby. How is it featuring with a hip hop artist, and how is it featuring with your man friend, your boyfriend, CJ? You're CJ Silly. I'll say you're CJ Silly. How was it? How was it working with CJ Silly?
It was great, because what happened was I kind of just sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes, and my part was done.
Please go on. Explain. Yeah.
So
you did backgrounds and stuff for that song, right?
Yeah.
For the hook.
Yeah.
What's on the hook?
It was.
Dude, still a feature.
Like lyrics for that.
Yeah. Dude, he didn't I didn't have time to memorize them. So he just gave me his phone. He's like, okay, these are what you're going to say. And I was like, okay, boom, bap, baby. CJ Silly. Got it. Then we were listening to it and we were like, okay, well, that was the first take. It's good, but we could redo it and make it nicer. And then so we tried again and it just wasn't the same. So we kept the first take.
You kept the raw.
Not
overthinking it, just going in.
Yeah. And we were just like, there's something about that first take that's just like
great.
It just has some magic.
Booba Baby
something. It was just something about it. But
do you see yourself maybe collabing with like more artists, or do you know any other artists that
I would love to collab with like literally anybody.
Oh yeah.
Anybody. I've collabed with my brother, Midnight Wanderer, the song that introed this podcast. He actually did the drums and the bass for that song.
Oh, nice.
So I would really love to collab with like artists that already have a platform, if you will. But also like from the beginning of this music journey for me, I've always wanted to collab with my friends because they all know how to sing. Like
nice.
Kelia, Alyssa, Emily, anyone. Shout out to all y'all. They all know how to sing. It's just a matter of
you got background singers
them,
right there. You just got to be like, hey, you guys are my background singers, by the way.
Yeah.
And just be like, we're going to a session right now.
I'll just give them the lyrics.
Yeah.
Have them sing what I want. And then I could say that they're on a song.
Yeah.
100%. I've just always wanted to do that because it would be awesome to just have different voices just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah. Little ad-libs going on. Oh, yeah. No, that's collaboration is what we're all about here at BME. The collaborate and elevate. So we'll try and tap you in with some of the people we know. And we got 2 artists that work with us as Key. It was K Schmidt, and then we got CJ Silly, which you know CJ Silly, I think.
What does he look like again?
We're gonna start an ad-lib group.
Yeah, we're doing a full album.
Only ad-libs.
Only ad-libs.
Get ready for it. It's gonna be called the Beach Shack Boys. Get Libby. Where can people find you on like social media and stuff?
So you can find me at LINDSHZ on Instagram and Twitter.
Nice.
And then on YouTube, my name is Lindsay Starr, aka Abyssopelagic. And what's the last one? Spotify, Apple Music, Abyssopelagic.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask you. That was like the one question I wanted to ask you. Where did you come up with your name? Like closing question.
Oh, it's so weird. It's such a weird way. Like I was naming my playlists on Apple Music and I was really annoyed because my main playlist was at the bottom. And so I was like, I need a word that has AB. So it's like at the top. And so I was like, words that start with AB. And Abyssopelagic was on there. So I named my playlist Abyssopelagic. And then it was at the top. And I was like, oh, that's convenient. And then I kind of just like, that name is always in the back of my head. I use it for my art Instagram.
Nice.
And I love it because it means abyss, pelagic of the sea, abyss of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
I guess I mean, water.
Yeah.
Deep emotions.
Thoughts. Wandering to the sea.
Dreams.
To shining sea. From, what is it? From, what's the song? From sea to shining sea. In the mountains. In the forest. Just joking.
That's why I said you. You just said that.
The indoctrination song?
Yeah. The song that's like, oh my God, I remember singing it all the time when I was younger. Anyway, well, catch the album Underwater Kingdom. Is it on all streaming platforms?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Catch it on all streaming platforms, people. There's another episode of Mad Track Talk coming at you. Thank you again to Productive Culture for helping us out with the setup and then giving us a place to record our podcast. We do mixing, mastering, obviously podcast, and a whole lot more. If you want to tap into that, go ahead and go to productiveculture.com/podcast. And you can put our name in there and give you a discount on your first episode and get you set up with JMKM. He helps everybody out, so it'll get you going. This is Balanced Mind Entertainment. Collaborate and elevate, y'all. You and me. Peace.
Peace.